Most parents are wary of the so-called heavy metal music.
Salut à tous, METALXS, c'est l'essentiel de l'actualité métal et dérivé en quelques minutes, le tout en images, en musique et en interview. METALXS est une exclusivité Refix by Crédit Mutuel, la plateforme de toutes les musiques, tous les talents en partenariat avec Artforce. C'est parti! C'est quoi être punk en 2025 ? La réponse est certainement dans des formations comme Rise Against, biberonné au culte Dead Kennedys, Bad Religion, Fugazi et bien d'autres, mais aussi galvanisé par une actualité qui ne cesse de lui servir des combats sur un plateau. Parce que Rise Against, originaire de Chicago, est un groupe engagé qui, derrière son hardcore mélodique, porte un message sans compromis, politique, environnemental et humaniste, dans le sillage de la culture straight edge. Cet été est paru son 10e album Ricochet. Et l'heure n'est toujours pas aux concessions, comme nous l'ont confirmé devant nos caméras le chanteur-guitariste Tim McElrath et le bassiste Joe Principe.
We're excited to kind of like start this next chapter of Rise Against, you know, like this is our 10th album. So every album we kind of dip back into the world and just kind of see where the world is. The world changes, you know, every single year, every single time we make a record. And our music is new and different. It changes too, I hope. So it's exciting to kind of like navigate all of that at this time.
À l'écoute de Ricochet, on est frappé par l'apport de nouveautés dans le son de Rise Against. Comment le groupe parvient-il à se réinventer après autant d'albums ?
You know, I don't think, I would say reinvention is never like the goal that we go into making a song with, but I imagine that the 2025 version of you is just a different version than it was in 2015 or 2005 or whatever, you know? And so therein lies the reinvention, you know? I guess you're just sort of like, you're a sum of your influences and like everything you're hearing, everything you're doing, you know, like we'll walk away from this tour with LS Dunes and Spiritual Cramp with like different sounds percolating in our heads. So that's, I think we are constant students of the game, of new music, of discovering old music, you know, whatever. And so your composition as like a songwriter is always kind of changing. And so I think if you hear that on like a new record, it's because we're always kind of like sponging up, you know, a little bit of everything. But it's not like a conscious thing that we ever really do, you know. So. And tell me where does the time really go? Tell me what is this?
Pour la première fois, le groupe a collaboré avec la productrice australienne Catherine Marks. Et par moments, le son est particulièrement brut.
A lot of this record was recorded live. It's definitely bass and drums and rhythm tracks for guitar.
Yeah.
And that was definitely a new process for us. You know, the producer, Catherine Marks, that was her vision. She wanted to capture what we sound like live. And she's like, just do it, just run it, keep running it over and over live. And I feel like that translates to the record for sure.
Yeah, there's parts of the record that are on the record that we were probably playing not even knowing that we were being recorded.
Yep, for sure.
Like that definitely happened. But I think that was sort of something Catherine brought to the table, was she liked the energy in the room and she was trying to capture that.
Le titre de l'album évoque le côté imprévisible et même accidentel que représente un ricochet. Dans le cas d'une balle, cela peut même avoir des conséquences dramatiques. Quel message souhaite-t-il passer à travers ce titre ?
It's talking about the unpredictability of our actions. Even when our actions are designed to produce a very specific outcome, sometimes it produces other outcomes that we didn't think about. You know what I mean? Or if it's a bullet, if it's something you were doing with the intention of hurting somebody, that can miss your target. And it can hurt somebody you didn't mean to hurt. It can be self-inflicted, you know what I mean? That bullet can come back around. And so it's talking about who we are in society, how we interact with each other, and how we have to be careful because our actions have reactions and the unpredictable outcomes that we always can't put our fingers on what's going to happen. So. I think you can apply it to like you said, the environment. You know what I mean? Like if you produce this thing, it's going to affect this part of the climate. It's going to disrupt something somewhere else. You know what I mean? Which could produce everything from homelessness to a war. You know what I mean? You can destabilize a whole place. But you can also see it like in social media. You can say this one thing or spread a little bit of disinformation or believe disinformation, and all of a sudden someone's real life is being affected by something that's not true. I think that there's a lot of ways that we're seeing the ricochet effect sort of manifest itself in our world. And so I guess like the record is a sort of like plea to like really think about what you're doing and just how connected we all are.
La chanson Gold Long Gone ressemble un peu à une suite de Our Generation sur un thème auquel on peut facilement s'identifier. Comment arrive-t-il à affronter l'époque troublée que nous vivons?
You're planting seeds right now, you know what I mean? They may not produce anything tomorrow, you know, but like you still have to put those good things like out there, you know, and there's a lot of good things out there, you know, and there's a really good, we live in a kind of a dark time politically now in the States for sure, but really everywhere. The ideology that's sort of consuming the States exists in some way, shape, or form in most countries, and I think you're seeing the seeds of a resistance like happen. You're seeing like a pushback. You're seeing people who maybe didn't think about the outcomes of some of these decisions, and now they're seeing like, oh wait, this isn't what I wanted.
Et pourtant, les paroles de cette chanson sont extrêmement sombres et pessimistes. Dans quel état d'esprit étaient-ils quand ils l'ont composée?
I think it's a very like one day at a time kind of thing, which I think we've been a band for 25 years. This is our 10th album. We sing about change, you know. We sing about awareness, and we know that change doesn't come overnight. If you expect it to come overnight, you'll be disappointed, you know what I mean? And then you'll probably burn out, you know? And so your fight is like a daily fight. The change is something that happens slowly over time. And so you have to take each challenge sort of like as it comes, you know, and not get too, too depressed about like when the world isn't going the way you want it to go.
Bang. In a world of constant stimuli.
Et pense-t-il que leur message global fera ricocher sur les consciences de ceux qui l'écoutent?
Like Trump barely won the election, so which means there's more people out there that don't agree with what's going on than it seems like, right? So I think you could take solace in that and band together, and I think like I'll wake up and I'll get overwhelmed by something, a thought in my head, and if I could just take it slow, take it day by day, I don't know. I think there's something to be said for that. There's other people out there that are also feeling this toxic world that he's trying to create, and they're gonna kind of go against that. You know, I don't think they'll. I mean, he's definitely moving quickly,
which I think will be his downfall.
Yeah,
too.
right.
Like, I think we should be more alarmed if he's moving slow and really winning people over.
Yep.
And he's not winning anybody over right now. You know, I think this sort of moving too fast, I think it's going to backfire, and I think a lot of people are getting really ticked off.
profitant de cette tribune, quelle organisation aimerait-il promouvoir ici?
In the States, I feel like it's like places like ACLU are really doing, like, fighting the Trump administration. They do a good job of doing a lot of legal work to sue the administration and stop some of the more destructive policies from going through. But I'm sure there is an ACLU equivalent, like in most countries, you know. But yeah, find the people that are doing immigration law, you know what I mean, protecting those who need to be protected, you know. This is that time.
Run if we never crawl. Bang, wave, get your head above. Lose, change, don't you want it?
La période n'est-elle finalement pas propice à l'existence de Rise Against?
Rise Against is ready for these 4 years. Like, we've been training for them for the last 25 years. And like, punk rock is ready for this. Punk rock has been training it since the era of Dead Kennedys and Minor Threat and Fugazi and, you know, whatever. Like, punk rock taught us how to handle this. Donald Trump is maybe a new character, but he's not, you know, a new person to history. This person has existed before. This person will exist again. Punk has trained us well, and so we're ready for this.
RSF paramilitaries declared a parallel government in Darfur.
I just don't get how they expect some of these folks to vote. My mom is standing on.
Punk rock is kind of timeless. I mean, this battle will always exist, probably, you know what I mean? And then our role as artists is to kind of say how we feel, react, and then maybe create something that people identify with and maybe inspires them to keep resisting.
I'm dead and gone when you arrive. Bury me right where I lie and wait till you are buried too.
À noter sur vos tablettes les sorties discographiques récentes ou apparaître dans les prochains jours.
This life takes a toll, but I ain't tired when you're here with me. God send the soul. Hey, hey, is it always gonna be this? Civilization.
Helloween fête ses 40 ans à travers une tournée qui passe dans quelques jours par le Zénith parisien. Sa dernière prestation en date dans cette salle remonte à 8 ans et proposait déjà à cette époque l'incroyable et peut-être improbable attelage de réunir les irréconciliables d'autrefois avec le retour du fondateur Kai Hansen et les deux chanteurs historiques depuis 1986 et 1994, METALXS et Andi Deris. Fin août dernier, Helloween a sorti Giants and Monsters, le deuxième album d'une formation hors du commun qu'on surnomme désormais les Pumpkins United. METALXS est parti à leur rencontre aux Pays-Bas, dans l'un des studios qui en ont accueilli la conception, les fameux Whistle Lord. Un groupe atypique, processus d'enregistrement qui ne l'est pas moins.
We recorded here and there. I mean, some stuff was recorded here, some stuff was recorded in my studio in Slovakia, then some was recorded at Andi's studio in Tenerife. And yeah, well, we just mixed everything up and put it all together, and it worked. First of all, we've grown together in terms of like musical consistency for what we think is Helloween. And we had great ideas for this album, great songs from every songwriter. And we were not so much under pressure because things were more easy going with everybody. So all the circumstances were just much better than on the first album.
Yeah, a bit more sorted out because everybody was now on the same programs, and we chose Dropbox, and there was this common folder, and everybody like was putting his ideas on the Dropbox. Wrote an email, hey, new files here, listen to, and then everybody listened to each other's shit, and this time it worked even better than last time. So what we finally did, we are working on Pro Tools, and not he is on Pro Tools, he's on Cubase, he's on Logic. If you know, there's all these different music programs, and now everybody works on Pro Tools, so you could actually send me your music session and I can open it the way you just left it. Makes it so much easier. So that changed. Studios changed. We have a new recording studio for the drums. This time we recorded 3 different drum kits to the same time. So there are quite a lot of songs which have 2 different drum kits. So that's a luxury thing. When you listen to a song, you'll be like, oh, it's too muddy, it's too much bass, whatever. Try the other kit. Oh yeah, that's much better, you know. So yeah, that was nice, even though it's triple work for Dani. Dani had to kind of record each and every song 3 times. But as we know, Dani, it's pretty fast. He's pretty quick.
The energy is there, definitely, you know, the eagerness and the will to deliver and not wimp out, you know.
Not wimp out.
Not wimp out. Yeah. Not a bit. Nope. No, we're not doing Mutti Rock now.
Avec 2 exceptionnels chanteurs, plutôt que d'être confrontés au dilemme du départage, Helloween a une approche complètement originale.
We realized we should actually try to record Andi and Michael on all songs, which we did. And at the end of the day, it was for Michael and myself, it was the right decision, because we just said, okay, you know, we have sung all songs, so you decide who sings on where and what, and you surprise us. So, and that's how we went, like, just surprise us. And the last 4 weeks we've been back at home, directly connected with the studio here. So each and every day we were part of the mix down, and you just said, cool. I would say 99% of the shit was cool. Also the mixture, great. Michael here, Andi there, sometimes Kai there. Except there was one little verse, I think, the ending of a verse where we decided to switch to Andi because Kai was too rough. It sounded like he was having a fucked up voice there, and I said, do you want to have it on purpose here? I was like, no, actually not. And I said, okay, then we need to sing it again, or you change it to Michael or Andi. And so it was changed for Andi's voice, and everybody's happy now. So it's also good because you listen to it and you say, yeah, I could hear Michael here, or I could, you know, I mean, it's a super luxurious thing. But it was a lot of work. Last interviews I always said, oh, it's so great because I only need to sing half the album, the other half is Michael. This time we sang both, all of them. So yeah, well, but glad we did it.
S'il ne s'agit pas d'un concept album à proprement parler, Giants and Monsters réunit des chansons liées entre elles.
There's a lot of deeply spiritual stuff if you want to see it like that. A lot about, like thoughts about like ancient gods, aliens, the God within yourself, the power that you have in yourself, the monsters that you have to fight every day. And you could see it in a way of just taking it as a fantasy thing, you know, little like Legend of Zelda, little Link fighting the evil so and so. But you can see it even in a philosophical, spiritual way. So that's up to the listener to decide what he prefers to listen out of the lyrics.
We took a title which makes it a bit more easy to digest, like Giants and Monsters. But yes, you're right. I mean, it's deep. But it's about us being actually the giants. Inside, we are all giants. Most of the people don't dare to realize, because that would mean you're being responsible for yourself. See who you are. We could get into the religion now and discuss about that. I personally think it's a spiritual thing. And what I always thought is, my life so far is always trying to be better, trying to be more than people think you are or I am, and always having that experience you fight against monsters out there. You only want to do good, but there's always somebody there who wants to fuck you up. Always. So there are so many monsters out there, and that's why we came up actually with the idea of Giants and Monsters. Even the song Giants on the Run is about ourselves, that we could be so much more if we only knew how much we could be, but we are not allowed to find ourselves. So it's like a complete, monsters not like you to know that you could be a giant. And this was the whole idea about lots of lyrics on the album. So don't get me wrong, we did not want to do a theme album or something like that, but accidentally there's like the majority of songs go round about that theme. Also about existence itself, like the ballad, for example, Into the Sun, is about reincarnation. When you got a hand of God, it's a near-death experience of Sasha. Then you got We Could Be Gods from Kai, which is principally a kind of different version of Giants on the Run, lyrically. So it's very interesting that at the end of the day, without any purpose, everybody wrote about that ballpark.
Yeah, we have a lot of diversity, I think. It's like a journey through feelings.
La chanson Into the Sun, justement, a connu une évolution particulièrement étonnante au fil de sa création.
You have to see, the first version was about orgasm. And then I know we checked out Michi Kiske singing the refrain and said, that sounds fantastic, I want to have it as a duet. And then I realized we should not possibly sing a duet about an orgasm. Doesn't seem right. So I rewrote the lyrics into reincarnation. And now it works.
Takes its toll, but holds an anchor evermore.
Certains morceaux de cet album sont très cinématographiques. L'image plutôt que la musique est-elle le point de départ de leur conception?
I just have visions, I have pictures on my imaginary screen that grow to life, come to life through the music. You know, I see scenes, and that's cool. I mean, hey, sure. Anybody out there who wants to do a movie for that, go ahead. Yeah, woo. Yeah.
Helloween utilise la technologie moderne pour enregistrer, mais est resté traditionnel dans son approche de la composition. Imagine-t-il un instant employer l'IA pour créer, et ont-ils déjà entendu ce que donnait du power metal généré par l'intelligence artificielle? Certains s'y sont essayés.
wouldn't dare. Maybe it's good. I heard some AI created power metal songs, and yeah, it kind of works, but it's so fucking generic. I mean, it's just like cliche all through the place. And of course, you're tempted to say, okay, create me a power metal song with this and this, you know, specs and blah, blah. And then you take it, rip it apart, and make something great from it. That might even work, but I don't dare to do that. I just, no, this is kind of, it's a moral no-no still.
This is Tokyo se démarque aussi des autres chansons. D'où en vient l'inspiration?
We have a strong connection to Japan because it was, all of us, when we went there the first time, it was something so exotic and so unreal. I mean, going to Japan, I mean, who does that in that age and stuff? And play for people there, fans. And so we all have a special connection. I mean, let's talk about this district of Tokyo, Roppongi, which is the party mile. There's all the bars and, you know, and people go out there to party. And we did that too. We still do when we're there. And it's always fun. And, you know, the whole thing playing Japan and the audience and the culture shock that you're confronted with when you go there the first 1-2 times. Later on, you know things, you get used to it, but still, it is always something special. So, and he decided to write an ode to that, and it's very cool. It's a really good song. It reflects the spirit very well.
For me, this is Tokyo.
Et les paroles sont plus positives que d'autres sur Giants and Monsters.
Yeah, but Tokyo is very positive, but I mentioned it in the song. We survived the quakes and we'd been very close to death and we really thought we were to die. So that's also Tokyo, not only positive. That's why I'm saying a city that rarely bites, but in the background they say it bites. You know, it bites a lot. So Japan is not easy to live there. I'm quite sure that the Japanese know about it. And spiritually, they are so ready for death because they grew up with death around the corner. And I'd been in 7 earthquakes there, and one I really thought we were gonna die. We were in the middle of the cemetery because we thought we were being smart and go shortcut to the hotel. Or maybe it was smart because on the cemetery there's no skyscraper falling on your head. And it was a 7.8. Yes, and I remember myself half drunk because we just came from the Hard Rock Coffee in Roppongi. I was half drunk lying on a fucking grave. And I did not know how I get there because it was so hard, 7.8, and it took like 29 seconds. And there were like 2 city autobahn, like city highways, which are on big pillars, 4 lanes, just boom, went off. So total chaos. So yeah, but anyway, I felt strongly I had the urge to say thank you to Japan. So I took Tokyo as a synonym for whole Japan, and this is Tokyo. Yeah, would say mostly positive, the lyrics, but also the big but. Also some things which were not so great, but I finally did it after 30 years. I wanted to write that song for so long.
Le Japon a souvent été un fantasme pour les musiciens. Helloween a d'ailleurs sorti fin 2024 un live dans la mythique salle de Budokan.
It's something. I mean, it's like if the Queen knighted you, that's the feeling, you know. Like
there's a commission. You have to send in a request if you can maybe play that venue. And then they're thinking, discussing back and forth, and they go like, okay, this band deserves playing in the Budokan, which is like an honor by itself. And even to me, I mean, looking at the footage, it was kind of new because I've never seen like a Budokan live recording of any band before. So I had no idea what it was looking like or whatever. And then when I look at our own video recordings there, I go like, so that's the way it goes. Oh, interesting. And it's even interesting for other people who've never been there or don't know about it. I mean, even I was surprised looking at the video footage. I mean, the way the people react and the dynamics in between the band and the crowd. I was there and I was really surprised by the recordings myself. And super quality and everything.
It's really good, yeah. And it's an iconic place. I mean, I guess every band who starts playing Japan has like the vision or the dream of reaching Budokan sometime. And we've been dreaming about that for years and years and years. And finally we made it, and we're very happy and proud of that.
Helloween s'apprête à jouer à Paris un show à la hauteur de ses 40 ans. À quoi faut-il s'attendre?
We always plan on playing songs that we never played before or rarely or something like that. Honestly, mostly we end up playing the same old stuff. But we try to make it different this time. Of course, the new album has to be included. And yeah, we made a fan poll to name like the 15 songs the fans would like to hear live. And of course there will be some surprises. We just have to learn to play them.
Depends.
Yeah.
May take a little bit more time than you.
And we're like, oh, this is too much work. Come on, let's play the old shit. Nah. Oh my God, ChatGPT, create the perfect Halloween set list that everybody will be happy with. ChatGPT.
Voilà, METALXS, c'est terminé pour aujourd'hui. On se retrouve dans 15 jours pour un nouveau numéro avec toujours plus d'interviews, de surprises et de contenus inédits. Un immense merci pour votre fidélité et n'oubliez pas de prolonger l'expérience métal sur riffx.fr. Salut!